Okay, we should be recording. Good. And hi, everyone. My name is Rick Lemadou. I'm with the SkillsCommons team here working actually with the CSU Merlot, Cal State University Merlot group, working on the SkillsCommons project. And I want to make sure that you have are able to see the screen share with the SkillsCommons website up. Are you still able to see that, Marcia?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
great.
I can.
Tell you just a little bit about SkillsCommons. When we started was in the late summer of 2014. Just as the first round of TAC was finishing up, there's actually 4 rounds of TAC. And the first round was supposed to finish in 2014 in September. And there's about 50 projects in that first round across all 50 states that received close to $500 million. Each round got about $500 million for a total of $2 billion that was spread out over 4 years for workforce development training to be developed at community colleges and tech schools across the country. And so we started at the, as I said again here, you can see the timeline, but most of the round 1 grants actually got a year extension. So so they uploaded most of their materials in 2015, and then round 2 just completed their uploads in the fall of 2016, and 2017 round 3 will be finishing up, and then we've got a year after that for round 4 group, which will finish theirs up in 2018. So materials continue to be added to the repository on a continual basis, so at least through the end of 2018. So I would encourage you to, if they don't find something today or next week or in a month, it maybe come up in a short time over the next couple of years as folks begin to add, their deliverables from the grant to SkillsCommons repository. Just a quick brief overview. Here's our team on the About page. Jerry Hanley is our director, Assistant Vice Chancellor at the Cal State system, and David Walker, who built the database that we're working off of, which is the DSpace open source database that the SkillsCommons repository is built on for cataloging, so we can customize it. Picture of me here as the Associate Director and working primarily with the grantee relations. Maria Feith has just come on this past year to help us with community and communications. And then Marla is working with setting up the different web pages and the integration there with the, kind of the design of all the pages and things like that. She's doing a great job. Jeff Kahn has helped us with the learning management system exports and interoperability of content and packaging and things like that. So we get into difficulties. Jeff's been great to help on that. And then Aaron Collier, he works kind of in the deep recesses of the repository on DSpace with David. And so Aaron's guy I go to when I have major problems like a level 3 or 4 that I can't solve. And then we have Kim Shibata, who helps us with administrative issues and things like that. So that's a little bit about the team. Just want to let you know, one of the first things to make sure of off the top of the bat deal here is that the repository, the SkillsCommons repository, is mainly around workforce training materials. It's all open OER, open educational resource with a CC BY license on it, meaning you can take it and do whatever you want with it, reuse it as it is, or rebrand it, put your branding on it for your school or business or whatever. And also, you do not have to have an account to get into SkillsCommons and to begin to look and to search or to download. Accounts are only needed for the TAC grant projects who are uploading their materials to SkillsCommons. So coming into this repository, you see here on the first page, you can just type in a keyword if you want to do that, like if you have a particular interest in something, or you can click these hyperlinks here, industry, and that'll take you to the NAICS codes, the North American Industrial Codes for that the Department of Labor and all those follow. And these are what the grantees have cataloged their content under. We use NAICS codes, the SOX codes, and the occupation code, which is SOX, and then also the education code. Or if you wanted to search by credential, so if you're just looking for a certificate or non-credit courses or particular credit courses, you can search by that. Or if you want to search by a particular material type, for example, you just want to find online courses, you could click that. And so let me just click the industry one here first. And so this brings up this, this is our 508 compliant page. So it has all of the NAICS codes listed out. And so you can see here, just as you as I scroll down through, and you can see the variety and different industry sectors. And I just want to draw your attention. So here, if you see number 33, manufacturing, that's the NAICS code. And in parentheses here, that's how many materials are in manufacturing that are submitted to SkillsCommons total. So that could be, in material type, that could be a syllabus, that could be a whole learning management system export file, it could be a simulation, it could be student resource materials, it could be a brochure to advertisements or marketing materials for manufacturing. So that's just the total number in that in manufacturing. And then as you see here in the subcategories, then there's 514 in miscellaneous manufacturing. You kind of get the idea. Fabricated metal, which is like welding and stuff, there'd be 342. And so we could just click that, and then it would bring up the list. And so it looks like there's 345, probably because there's more added since this was recently indexed. But you can see here, then you can scroll through and just kind of get an idea of what the description of it is, and then kind of read a little bit of information about it, what it is. So this is a recruitment and outreach piece. And if I wanted to look at it, just get more information, this is hyperlinked here in blue letters. So I click that, and then I get a lot of information about this. Up here I see that's from the Making the Future. This is the Wisconsin Strategy Group project, and it's in the program support material collection. So all of the projects have two collections. One is a learning resource collection, which are your teaching materials, mainly like what the professor or the instructor is going to use to teach his course, the learning management system export, a simulation, maybe a PowerPoint, something like that. And the program support material is going to be things like brochures, recruitment, those types of things, or administrative type materials. But as you see here, you can just kind of scroll through and get a little bit of information about, again, the institution that submitted this, what it is, when it was submitted, the industry occupation that has a CC BY license. And then down here, it tells you how many times it was viewed, 22, and it was downloaded 7 times. And there's a little dashboard here with some more information about that. If I wanted to download this and look at this, I could just click this, and it will start a download into my computer, and then I can open and look at it. All right, so that's one way to browse. Another way to do the browse feature is to just scroll down the homepage a little ways, and there's this industry wheel. And a lot of people like this because it's kind of cool looking and all that fun stuff. And so again, go into the manufacturing. There's 1,485. We can hit this one, and there's 514 again in parentheses. Again, looks like it's been re-indexed. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you on this, and this is the same on for the other way we looked at sorting, browsing the industry, is in this gray box over here. We call it kind of aspect window, and you can refine the search as well under the industry miscellaneous manufacturing if you wanted to hone your search a little bit more. But most people will probably come down here. Here's what I often do. Like if I want to find things in this, in miscellaneous manufacturing, for example, I want to find some online courses. I'll look down through here, or a hybrid blended course, or maybe I'm looking for some management and support materials. Again, in parentheses, it has the number of materials that are available there. Also, if I want to look by credential type, I can see here there's 337 of these apply to certificate programs. 230 are in a stacked or lattice credential model, so students can stack credentials going through at different colleges across the country. Maybe that they developed a stacked model to building to a credential. And then you can see the associate degrees. And then if I wanted to search by institution, I can find the particular institution if I'm looking for that. And again, you can always click on View More, and it has more listings there. But these would be the top ones on the aspect window. Okay. let me just pause there and see if there's any comments or questions from anyone about that process of using the browse feature to search for materials, or if you got any questions, or if you've been on here already and have done a search and had a question about finding material.
Would you provide the website again that you are on, please?
Sure, you got it. It's SkillsCommons.org, just SkillsCommons.org. All one word, SkillsCommons.org.
Thank you.
You got it. Someone else have a question?
So Rick, many of our programs, what we are is adult basic education. That's what is more commonly known. We call ourselves adult education here in Wyoming. And what we do is we're preparing our students to move into certificate programs. So we work a lot with the basic skills prior to going into a certificate course or moving on into college. Can you show us some of the kinds of materials that might be available for our teachers to use?
You bet.
Thanks.
You got it. Yeah, let me take you into really the really exceptional things in SkillsCommons. We've created a showcase page to showcase some of the outstanding material that's been submitted. And we've got these by different categories. But the one that you want to look at would be OpenCourseWare showcases. And so we put together here a number of courses and continue to add as we learn about them and find them in SkillsCommons and create this set of OpenCourseWare. And we put them in different categories, some by industry sector and some by topic because they don't really fit an industry sector. But for example, developmental education OpenCourseWare might be something you want to look at. And we have like pre-algebra math, algebra 1, a writing basics course, a getting prepped course, or an intro to distance education course that you could find helpful. You know, if you know, adults are coming back and they need to learn basic computer skills, you could, for example, let me just click that and you can kind of see here an overview of the program. You can actually go and preview it by clicking this link and seeing the course laid out. If you want to go back here, and if you wanted to view individual models, you could just, you know, modules, I mean, you could go in here and see and look around and just kind of play around with it and, you know, kind of get an idea of, hey, is this something I want to use or not? And, you know, you feel free to browse all you want in here and look at it. Again, if you wanted to download and look at the materials, you know, to your own computer, or you want to put them into your learning management system, or you just want to use it as is, you can do that as well. But here's where you would click this link, and it'll take you to that page where the material was submitted, and you can actually go in here and download that file. It's in the SoftTalk learning management system, and then you can reuse it however you want and rebrand it and all that good stuff. Are those the types of things, Marcia, that you're thinking about or looking at? Those kinds of materials would be helpful?
Yeah, I think that some of that would be helpful. Seems like to me the last time when I was watching a previous webinar, you had taken us into an area where it was teaching math, and there was math for engineering and math for a variety of different areas.
You bet. I can do that as well.
Okay.
Before we leave here, I just wanted to show you that all of the courses have had a subject matter expert review, and so like you hover over this, it'll tell you. And so you can get a copy of that if you want as well. There's a link right to that in their collection. You can you know, you can view that if you want on the subject matter expert side of it. Okay. Again, here's like the math courses, similar to the previous. Again, you can click and look at the individual, you know, modules, and then again download. There's a preview of the SME review. So this is in the basic, you know, kind of developmental ed stuff, the kind of remedial areas for folks that might need it. And then in the energy, we have this electric vehicle technology certificate program that was submitted by a round one project out of Anne Arundel in Maryland. And so there's different courses in here that you can, again, look at. You can preview the whole online course. These were built in the OLI system, so the Online Learning Institute or initiative at Carnegie Mellon. And so all these courses, again, you can preview the course, you can look at the different, material there and kind of pull these out a la carte if you'd like to do something like that. Like here's a technical math course. If you wanted to use something like that, you could, again, there's a link to download the material. I'll go back here to the Mechatronics courses, which have some math courses in them as well. Composites Technology Certificate Program. These are under the manufacturing OpenCourseWare showcases. But this one in here is like on robotics. And so again, there's some CAD and drafting for that, electrical systems, industrial robots, again, just kind of scrolling down, looking at different things that may have application that you might want to use. Again, you can use them as is or, reuse them how you want. Here's an applied math course in this composites technology program, semi-precision and math and measurement. Again, just wanted to show you here just kind of the stuff that's really easy to get, stuff we have previews of, stuff that's ready to go right now, kind of shovel-ready type materials that you can use it today if you wanted to, but feel free to come in and again, all this is open and free for you to use. And also have a lot in the healthcare area, a whole course just on technology foundations for health information, like informatics, and becoming kind of a data entry person. Those are some really hot jobs right now. Healthcare e-learning modules. If you had healthcare or you knew somebody that was doing healthcare, you could actually use these as kind of supplemental materials as well. So there's a lot of really neat and good stuff in here. Again, previews you can download. You got the SME review and then a program guide on how to integrate all these simulations. Have those on there. So it's really, really quite a bit in here. Some healthcare open textbooks, and then the skill bites are really cool as well. Got some really good content in here, and just these are done very, very well. These simulations, and
can you show us one of those?
You betcha. Yep. So I'll hit this first one here, and this is in a Moodle instance that we built. So you just basically click enter, you start, and it'll start up. Can you hear that? I don't know if it's playing through the computer or not for you, for you folks or not, but let me close this up. On that side there we can see. So
so is it reading this information, or is it just for?
It's reading it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not playing it through my mic's not picking up because I'm using headphones.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and then these, as you can see, these are done very well. And again, all these can be downloaded and reused. And then it's got some interaction as well.
Okay.
So some pretty neat stuff there. That good?
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah, and again, you see we have all these here in this Moodle instance, which are, again, they're basically the same ones that we have on the showcase page, so folks can see them. So here's one on cellular respiration. It's pretty cool. So a lot of really good detail and some really neat stuff in here. Okay, go back to the. Here are other courses within this Moodle instance that we have that folks may not have a server where they are hosting it. So we put this together just to begin to host some of the content in SkillsCommons so that we could give people a preview and they could begin to look at it. So if there's something in SkillsCommons that you'd like to say, boy, I really like it to look like that OpenCourseWare showcase that you guys have, shoot me an email and I can work with our person, actually Jeff, and he's the one who's in charge of putting this on our site. So we can get that for you. Okay. So if there's a course that you'd like to look at in the general repository when you're going in and you're browsing, you know, by the material type or whatever, credentials and that. So if we have one, great. I would encourage you to start here in the OpenCourseWare showcases though. And if you don't find something there and there's a particular, you know, specific thing you're looking for, you know, search for it, shoot me an email and say, Rick, I found this one. Those are other ones that you know of? Because I work with this, you know, on a daily basis and work with all the grantees, you know, projects. There's 256 projects, about 700 institutions over the 4 rounds of grants. So, you know, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, so I've got a pretty good handle on where to find the good stuff. So don't hesitate to ask. Hope that's helpful. That's what I'm here for, to help you guys reuse the content. Is there some other things I'll show you, like in IT, there's this whole cyber technology certificate program, which again, this is a really kind of a hot area. I'm not sure if that's something you folks are working in out there, but again, this course could be reused, you know, the program, I mean, or the individual courses. There's a basic computer skills course, a MOOC, that was developed by one of the basically a round 3 project. And they've already uploaded this, and it's a great course. A lot of people use this to help people that are new to a computer and new to learning on this. And so this is actually hosted in the WISC online. This is from Wisconsin online repository. So they've got a quick, you know, nice interface here in their repository. It's integrated, so people can kind of start it, you know, where they're comfortable at and go through. So again, if you wanted to download that and learn more about the material, you know, that package is there that you can download, and then find more information about the material itself. So, so there's a lot of good stuff in there. But that one is one that's getting a lot of attention. And then I just want to draw your attention to the iOS mobile development. And this one was developed here just because of, you know, we created this OpenCourseWare if somebody wanted to see more about this. So again, if there's something in this area, this field, we can get that set up for you. Because most folks actually put their stuff in as an LMS export or a zip file. So it doesn't make good for a very good preview. But you know, we can make previews as folks need them. Okay.
Okay. So as our instructors are, what we do is we often take the basic skills and we try to contextualize the training or the skills toward the 16 clusters for occupations. And so the thought in inviting you to show this was to see how we might be able to, let's say people want to go into the mining and oil industry, energy sector, and what kinds of things would be available in either that or any of the others, where they would be very basic, you know, basic skills, preparing people to move into those areas. Show me some more things that might be helpful to our instructors. And any of the rest of you jump in and ask the questions. If you see things that, or if he whizzes by something and you want him to go back, you know, chime in and just ask.
Right. So would you want like I pulled up here is mining, quarrying, and oil and gas extraction. So that'll pull up, you know, how those were cataloged under that NAICS code. Mm-hmm. And so you see here on the side here, we can refine that a little bit more if you wanted to go just into oil, gas extraction. It's kind of, you know, a little nuanced, but not, you know, just interesting how the NAICS codes work. It's almost like they kind of need to be updated a little bit because some of them are redundant. But as you see on the side here, like the type of material you'd be looking for, would it be, as here it pulled up a hybrid blended course is the first one. and it's got an ethics and values course in it as well. So as you see, there's 17 hybrid blended courses in this specific area field. Is that the type of thing you're looking for, or are you looking for just any kind of content in this area?
So I think at this point, I'm going to turn it over to the instructors and local directors that are on the phone. And maybe you can come up with some questions for Rick around what would you be looking for if someone came in, and an adult came in, maybe it's a youth, saying, this is something I'm interested in. Ask what kinds of questions at this point you might be looking for in this kind of a very large database. We'll give them a couple of minutes to think.
Okay, so I have a question. So if we have a student who comes in and we know that they want to, I'll just say mining industry because we have that up here on the screen, but they're not a real high level reader. And so we want to give them materials to help build that reading skill that are using content material for the mining industry. Where would we find something like that?
That's a great question. So it's kind of, you wouldn't want to use like a developmental ed for reading to get them up to speed for reading. You'd want to use material in the mining field, right, to bring them up to speed. I actually have not been asked that question before, so I haven't even considered looking at that as an area where some of these courses have started. So I'll note that down and begin to look at some of the materials in here under, in this industry sector, and see if they've got some stuff for building people's reading skills in that industry sector itself.
It goes across all the skill areas. So we would need things like in reading, and then in math and writing, the same kinds of things. That's what we're looking for. So that student who wants to go into the mining industry but doesn't have high enough skill levels to be successful to move forward, we want to find materials that are aligned into industry sectors that will help build those skills. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I guess like this wouldn't be what you would be thinking of like like an algebra course, a pre-algebra.
Well, no, because unless it's contextualized, it could be. I mean, we could use it, but I think what most of us are probably looking for is stuff that's contextualized for a career.
Right.
So one of the things, Rick, that we're being told a lot is that as some industries are, closing down, we have workers who have been working in whatever the industry is. For us, it's mining and oil. And when they leave, their skill levels, they may be very skilled at that particular job that they were doing. However, those skills are fairly low when you're looking at how do you build them up to go on into a higher level, even within a business. So increasing their vocabulary, increasing their writing and math skills in these different sectors are very important. It looks like a lot of what's in the database really is sort of starting at, okay, you're starting into college, and so here are the courses that are in college that are being developed and shared. And I guess what we're looking for is maybe one step down from that.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
And of course, that's a big problem across the United States because we keep being told, well, we have all of these jobs, but nobody's skilled enough to go into them. So that's the challenge right now across the United States for adult education, in order to upskill the people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really glad we had this webinar with you folks because this is sounds like an area that we need to maybe focus on as far as how to showcase some of the content as well, because it just hasn't come up before. But like, look at this course here. This is in this field, and it's technology computer basics in mining and extraction technology. So what I'm saying is that it may be in here. It's just I haven't been looking for stuff in this area that you're talking about, like skilling people up within their sector. And so I need to look through and see what I can harvest and maybe push some of those out to you folks, and you guys say, yeah, this looks like it, or no, this still isn't what we're looking for. But it would give me an opportunity to begin to look at some of these materials in here within their industry and see if there's like skilling up courses. Like I think this would be. Do you agree or no? Would this be something like that? I mean, just on the face.
Yeah, just on the face, it looks like that this could be something that would help.
Yeah.
Because it's still basic computing and basic typing, those kinds of things.
Right.
So let's hear some of the areas from the field. If the field staff here would tell Rick, what kinds of areas might you be interested in, or do you have people coming in saying, I'd really like to begin to study in this area, and you need to bring your skills up. So I know that healthcare is one, and of course the mining is, and oil is one. What are some of the others here in the state? You have to turn your mics on. Okay, maybe no one heard because I had my mic turned off. What are some of the areas that you believe you have students that would have an interest in upskilling in some of the areas that you've seen on SkillsCommons? So we know healthcare is one. What are some of the others?
Yeah. Healthcare is one that we hear a lot, and then also sometimes students don't really know what they want to do. They just know that they want to do something in skilled labor or technical, but with the energy industry being down, they don't necessarily want to do oil and gas.
Right.
Okay.
So something more exploring at a little higher level, like cluster skill areas as opposed to specific job areas. How do you explore an industry?
I think manufacturing is another area, and agriculture.
Yeah, we have a few things in agriculture. It wasn't a big area of the TAC funding. Just a little over 50% was put into manufacturing, and then healthcare was the next biggest area, and then energy and IT got the four kind of biggest cuts. But you can see here there were a few things put in agriculture in that, as you see, but by this.
Right.
And again, what's it going to be when we get in there and look at it? Like here's I'm just kind of browsing through here real quick. Like Delaware Community College put in a sustainable landscaping course, workforce development. Are you looking for an online course or presentations or, just some quizzes or what, or all the above?
Is it possible as an instructor to go through one of these courses and pick out just, little bits here and there of material that are applicable?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to see this one here. So like here, if you wanted to come in here and even in this unit, like if I open this sustainable, I don't know what this is going to be, guys. I'm just going to open it and see it's a folder here. So here's some presentations. So yeah, like if I saw this one and like I looked through all 4 of them and I just wanted to use, say I wanted to use 3. So I'm going to open up number 3 and then like I can pick out what I want out of even the slide presentation and just use what I want. I don't have to use everything. I can rebrand it too if I want to and put my logo and all that fun stuff on there. So there, kind of see it opens up, and this is all CC BY. But you know, again, this isn't my specialty area, but you know, you can kind of just go through and see the presentation, and if there's anything in there you'd want to use or reference or anything like that. Okay. So,
Yeah, I think that would.
hope that illustrates what we're, you know, kind of trying to show what you can do with it. And then same with the instructional plans. It's got lesson plans and stuff in here that you could open up and look at, but kind of see how it's laid out. But you can customize that or redo it. Just the nice thing is you don't have to start over and do, you know, from scratch. Maybe you're doing, you know, 30% of the work or 25%, you know, kind of customizing it. If that makes sense.
Right. So, Rick, show us a syllabus from one of the programs.
Okay, so let's look at this one, crop science syllabus. So this is from a round 1 project, South Dakota Green Energy Program. So open up Word here. I'm gonna skip that for now. Okay, you able to see that? And let me blow this up a little bit too. Is that better? Maybe a little more. Can you read that?
I don't see a syllabus opened yet.
Okay, let me do a new share. See that?
Yes.
Is that big enough?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what the, you know, again, the syllabus, what it looks like. I'm just going to scroll down through it. So you see BY, you can, you know, change it, update it, whatever.
So this would be an easy way to go in and just pull out several objectives rather than a whole course.
Correct.
That kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. And this would be true with any of the syllabus that are in this in the full database.
Correct.
Okay.
That's right. Yep.
What kinds of things do you have on science, space?
On what?
On space, SPACE.
Like outer space?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only stuff we have is like some geospatial stuff, like GPS type courses, but nothing like, nothing on rockets or anything, I think, like that, or space engines or anything. Can't think of. Just the closest is maybe the robotics materials I could think of. But yeah, under the industry area, I don't see that anywhere. We have like, you know, aerospace and stuff like that with, you know, for the airlines and things like that. There's a big project out of Washington, Seattle, Spokane, the Air Washington project. So they've got some stuff in, you know, in the airline industry, you know, trades and manufacturing. But
okay, what other questions do you guys have? Or anything else you would like to have Rick show you? What might, you know, what things look like? Do you remember how to get back to something like this?
so yeah, again, if you want to browse it that way, you can browse either the industry by industry, and I'll take you to the NAICS codes on the page, or through the industry wheel itself. And again, you can always, you know, you just click around on here, you know, where you want to refine your search. But you can always type in a keyword if you wanted to. One other thing I want to share, Marsh, before we go is that we have some showcases about how to reuse the content if you wanted to rebrand it, or, you know, reuse it as is type thing, like this course, this MOOC courses here. Some folks have taken some outreach plans, syllabus and things like that, syllabi, and just rebranded them from a previous grant project or institution. So we've got examples of those on here that you can look at. And then also about making over the content, kind of like taking something and doing a content makeover where you add interactivity or you apply, more interaction, applying like universal design principles to it. So it's not just like a lecture, but there's things that the students actually doing when they go through it. And then there's also the packaging and delivery makeover. So taking some Word documents, which we did out of the Air Washington group, and put it into Soft Chalk Cloud into a learning management system. And then you can even do ebooks or add, some interaction to a newsletter and how to do that. Here's some more packaging delivering, taking, text or, long book, something that could fit into an EPUB and create an EPUB out of it, or convert, a course into an iBook, which you could do as well. So just a bunch of different opportunities here. And we've also got on the site, we have in our Connect Center, an area where you could connect with a technology partner that we've vetted through through CSU to make sure that they will comply with, the 508 compliance and interactivity and all that good stuff. And so, you can read all about that here. This was developed primarily for the TAC grant projects, but really anybody can partner with any of these of our partner organizations at this point. And of course you can do your own if you want, but these are folks that know us and have worked with us and kind of been vetted through and know the material. So if there's anything like that you wanted to do as well, that's available. So just want to draw your attention to that.
Okay, so I have one other question, Rick, and that's, are any of the courses that you have on here courses that if a student took, they could actually get a certificate through that course, meaning
Right.
that other university or college actually provided a certificate at a distance?
Right. That's not in play yet, but that's one of the hopes and dreams that we could do with this through alliances and partnerships with the national certification bodies. And that would be something we do here through the Connect by Industry, where we bring all those groups together. For example, in the manufacturing, we've created these communities here just as kind of a template, a model of what could happen. So like, for example, the American Welding Society has a certificate using the SENSE program. And there's like six different projects already that are using this, and they've aligned their curriculum to it. And then we have the names of the institutions as well that are using their content, the SENSE program, the American Welding Society program. And so, why couldn't they? But at this point, the student would have to take the course at the college, at the community college, to get the credit for it. So we, nobody here is, through ours, through SkillsCommons is able to do that at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. But that could be, that's something that we're hoping to do through these communities that we could develop in these subsector areas and working together in developing that. Another area where folks are working at is in these impact communities on those types of areas and leveraging that. So there's some resources here that are available as well if folks are interested in that. Again, this is all open to everyone. It's volunteer, and people want to join and learn more about this. I know that's not the focus of what we're doing here today, but just wanted to show you that as a kind of a resource and a one-stop shop here. And also under the About page, we have open educational resource, the one-stop shop area for finding more on OER in different areas, kind of pulling all the places from the internet dedicated to OER in one location here for you. So
Great.
makes that nice and quick and easy. Yep. so you can see and just go down all the way through here. There's a lot. So we continue to add. So if there's something on here that you don't see and you say, hey, I wonder what they know about this place, probably not. So send me an email and we'll definitely take a look at it and get it added
Okay.
to the site. You bet. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Comments?
So I guess the only other question is, will you send me a link to this that you recorded?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll take a few minutes, and then I'll upload it, and then that'll take a little bit. So it'll probably be this afternoon sometime, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay.
Okay, great. And then for those of you that are on it, I'll send it out to all of the directors, and then you can preview it again and do your own searches so that you can see what kinds of materials that may be helpful for you and instructors in your programs. Well, thank you very much, Rick. This has been a very good opportunity for us to see a resource that were not as familiar with.
Yep, you bet. And like I said, check back, because we may find more materials, as they're adding. As I said, only half of the materials in here so far. So, and the later rounds are developing some really good stuff. I've talked to a lot of folks, and we've been able to help them, kind of, working together and doing some previews and that sort of stuff. So I think the content coming is going to be really good. And, knowing what I heard today is helpful for me to begin to think about, another possible way to curate the content within the industry sectors, to skilling people up within the industry sector in those areas that you folks talked about with reading, writing, and math skills and others. So
yeah, that would be
definitely
really,
looking at that.
yeah, really, really helpful. And I think you would have a large number of adult education programs across the United States that if they could find those kinds of linkages, that would be helpful to them.
Yeah. Again, I didn't think of it from that viewpoint. I was just thinking of the general developmental ed was enough, but knowing that you folks are looking for stuff within the industry sector is helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Right. Thanks again.
You bet. Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
You bet.